Hello friends, see you again with me Supercar. In this video I will review the 2023 Ford Everest Limited. Watch the video to the end so you know what is being upgraded to the 2023 Ford Everest Limited car. Continue to support the Supercar channel by giving likes, comments, subscribing, and tapping the bell so that you get other latest car videos. Ford's onslaught of new models continues this year, with the 2023 Ford Everest now landing in Australia. It follows closely behind the recently launched Ranger and Raptor, both of which share a foundation with this 7-seat family of four-wheel drive. Unlike before, where Everest's development and release followed behind Rangers, the new Everest started development at the same time as the Ranger and Raptor. All three models use the T6.2 platform developed by Ford in Australia and take advantage of a modular staircase-style chassis design. There are many feature improvements that will be key for the 2023 Ford Everest to face the competition. There's new safety gear, loads more technology, and a V6 diesel powertrain. More underbonnet grunts is something Land Cruiser Prado buyers have wanted for a long time, and Ford offering a 600 Nm V6 diesel engine could be the ticket to divert buyers from the status quo. While the Everest uses an independent front suspension setup similar to the Ranger UTA, the rear uses coil-sprung and uses a wood linkage setup that is closer, but not identical, to the Raptor. The Everest has a shorter 2,900mm wheelbase, with a full wagon body and room for 7 passengers. The next-generation Ford Ranger, which has already been launched for global markets, will launch in 2023 and will bring with it a hardcore Raptor variant producing nearly 400 horsepower, 33-inch all-terrain tires, and Fox shocks. But the US is about to lose its Ranger SUV sibling, the Everest, with Ford revealing its next-generation body-on-frame SUV today to the rest of the world. The Everest shares the C-shaped LED headlights and grille with the Ranger, but replaces the truck's front bumper with a more refined look. Of course, there is a cabin instead of a bed, as well as a longer rear door for easier access to the rear seats. The horizontal taillights are connected by Everest-branded trim. Pricing for the next-generation Ford Everest starts at $52,990 before on-road costs for the base Ambiente model in the cheapest rear-wheel drive format. Opting for four-wheel drive, including the low-range transfer box, permanent all-wheel drive, and locking rear differential, pushes that price up to $57,990, a $5,000 premium. The powering Everest is a mix of turbo diesel engines that likely won't be offered on the Ranger will receive in the United States, with the 3.0-liter V6 playing on top of the single and twin-turbo turbocharged versions of the 2.0-liter inline. Dash 4. The gas-powered 2.3-liter four-cylinder EcoBoost that is expected to power the U.S. market Ranger will be available in 2023. 6-speed automatic and 10-speed automatic transmissions are available depending on trim and engine. 2 4-wheel drive systems will be offered, and select markets will also get a rear-wheel drive Everest. While the United States is already getting a Ranger-related off-road SUV in the form of the Bronco, that won't stop us from daydreaming about tackling dirt roads on the smoother-looking Everest. The interior is very similar to its truck sibling, with a large vertical touchscreen on the center console and a new digital gauge cluster behind the wheel. The interior is also very similar to that of the Ranger, with a 10.1 or 12.0-inch vertical touchscreen on the center console and an 8.0 or 12.4-inch digital instrument cluster behind the wheel. A 360-degree camera connected to the screen helps park and traverse rough terrain. Materials and finishes up their game as you go further and further up the specs ladder, but it has to be said that even the fabric-trimmed Everest Ambiente, with its manually adjusted seat, feels well made and good. It doesn't need to be upscale, but it's well laid out. In the second row of Everest, you'll find that there's plenty of legroom and headroom. You'll have to eat up that legroom for third row use, more on that in a moment, but you can do that with the 60/40th split sliding seat mat. The titles are scalloped for a bit of extra space, and the seat base can be shifted with a 60/40 split for some extra space when needed, and the levels of comfort, visibility, and convenience on offer are all solid. You'll find air vents on the roof, and fan speed control and power outlets on the back of the center console. There's also a pop-down armrest with a pop-out cup holder and space for a bottle on the door card. In the third row, Everest is decent without being overwhelming. To get the best out of the rear seats, you need to slightly shift the second row forward. My test of fitting one of myself in each row behind each other did work. With the second row moving as far forward as possible without my knees getting into the seat in front, I was able to get into the third row with some comfort. Legroom is decent for the third row, but headroom is a bit limited. Ford has served your purpose here with a handrail and a few steps, but the opening is a bit narrow and high to access. The more capable children and adults among us will be fine, but the less flexible and heavier ones can struggle a bit. A 259L boot grows to 898L when you fold the third row down and down, while going into van mode, as the two-seater, revealing 1823L of storage space. For comparison, the old Ford Everest has 249L, 876L, and 1796L, respectively.